Right now, Mayor Tom Erdmann for the city of Carrington joining us on the Carrington Cardinals Community Chatter program right here on yourliveevent.com. And we check in with Mayor Tom once a month, and he lets us know what's all happening with the city council for Carrington. And we'll talk about the agenda and everything here and the committee reports. But Tom, have you been able to get out on the ice yet, or is there anything out there for fishing?
Oh yeah, the ice is already 10 inches thick, Greg. That little cold spell that we had. So I'm sure there'll be guys driving pickups. I went out last Thursday and Friday with the snow bear and caught some walleyes and some perch. So the season's here, and now we're just kind of trying to get stories of where the big perch are. And I keep seeing these pictures of these guys with all these big perch, but they're pretty hush hush where they're catching them. But and I'm just the opposite. I tell everybody, where I fish and all that, but I can't tell them now because I haven't been catching very many.
Yeah.
We get through the holiday season, then I'll give it a pretty good effort after that. Now there's all kinds of holiday things going on and some city meetings like the one we had here on Monday night.
Yep.
If you feel sorry for me, I'll get my fishing in.
All righty. Sounds good. Well, thanks, Mayor, for joining us here and checking in and letting us know what's happening with the city council. So, this meeting's from Monday, December 9th, and we'll just let's see, start from the beginning and kind of run down the agenda. You had to approve some licenses, right, for end of year license or renewals
Yeah,
or
it's that time of the year where everybody needs to renew their licenses from plumbers, gas fitters, home movers, liquor license, of course, are the big one annually. And so we approved all those individuals that put their application in and paid their fees. So those were approved. And then we also approved the city's annual fee and rate schedule for all the way from whatever costs are to take stuff to the landfill and for these permits and these licenses. So that's all been approved. And we really didn't raise any fees. The fee schedule stayed the same as last year. We noticed we didn't have like the community room at the library on that fee schedule, even though the library kind of takes care of that. So people can go online and just see before you want to rent the armory or rent the community room at the library, you can at least understand what the cost would be for your function. So that was approved as well. And then want to thank Brad Winiger for his 9 years of service on the planning and zoning, and also welcome Darren Esser to the planning and zoning board. So always good to have some guys that served a lot of time and tenure on the board, and always welcome new members to replace them. Then also I'd like to thank Neil Fandrick for accepting another 5-year term on the airport authority. So there's lots of volunteer work to do in the community, and we're very grateful for individuals that are willing to step up and serve in that capacity. So then from there, we can kind of just jump into the regular agenda. I mean, it was fairly short, but a lot of committee reports like normal. So I guess the first item on the agenda was authorizing myself to sign the interim financing agreement for our commitment of the half a CSF of water, which is 130 million gallons of water annually out of the River Valley Water Supply Project, the big pipeline that's just south of town. So on that project, it's like a $1.2 billion project, and 75% of it is grant money from the state of North Dakota. And the other 25% the users have to pay. And of course, Fargo and Grand Forks are the larger users, but they're small users like ourselves. So we got the financing in place with the Bank of North Dakota with 2% interest over a 40-year period. But this is just the initial part of this. There's like 17 miles of pipe in the ground, and the outlet is in place over on the Bald Hill Creek, and the inlet was actually done at Washburn, but now the Corps came and said we will allow you to take water from McCluskey out of the canal. So there's a whole new pumping station and a process for that. But it's 100 miles of pipe, and we got 17 miles in the ground, and we're hoping that I'm on the Lake Agassiz Water Authority board, that by 2034 the project is functional and there's water coming from the Missouri River all the way to Lake Ashtabula. So then the other item was the state of North Dakota, or North Dakota PERS public safety retirement plan, is a new plan that's designated for law enforcement. So we've agreed to participate in that. It's just a little more attractive retirement plan than the basic plan that we have for all the other city employees. And we've agreed to participate in that. And that program was set up by the state to help, recruit and retain law enforcement. And law enforcement has gotten a lot better. Of course, we're still short one police officer here in Carrington, but there was a time where it was worse than that. And I think most of the communities throughout the state now have been able to get people to come back, and the law enforcement has kind of lost the stigma that it had there after the COVID and some of that stuff. So we're glad that we can continue to have programs that encourage individuals to go into law enforcement. Then from there, I guess I can just kind of jump into the fire department. Chief Wangen give us a normal monthly report, and there was only one small grass fire in November, and then one false alarm, so they didn't have a lot of activity there. And they had the final closeout with the CP Kansas City Rail and the derailment at Borgelac. And in that process, of course, our fire department received a substantial amount of money for the time and effort that they spent out there. And the rail company gave us 2 portable Honda generators because they said, well, what things are you missing when you have a derailment like this, where of course you don't have access to electricity? So they could see that we had a need for that. So we greatly appreciate. It's a bad situation to have a derailment, but we greatly appreciate our first responders to that event, and also the fact that the rail company was more than generous in paying us back for all of our time and effort. So then I'll jump into finance and legal. Of course, we've been working with Dakota Dynamics, Tammy Weiler, on our wage study, and as it got right down to it, what happened there is we did not adopt the step scale that she's proposed, but we're still going to continue to work on it. And so the council took the recommendation of finance and legal to provide a 4% salary increase to all of our employees that would take effect on January 1. Then also at finance and legal, our auditor, Harold Rotunda, he came and gave a report, and he completed our balance sheet for year-end 2022 and 23. He commended the city for the excellent job that we've done and the financial position that we've gotten our city into. And a lot of that can be contributed to basically this, the 2% city sales tax is generating way more money than we ever anticipated. Last year, the 2% generated 1,080,000, and this year we're on track to generate 1,260,000. So like a $180,000 increase in city sales tax, which it helps all the other things that financially with our city. But like I tell Harold, though, we still have a cloud hanging over our head because we know we got the over and under sewer sanitation system that's antiquated, and the state health department said if you dig into that, you need to replace it all. So we're kind of just putting band-aids on that if we have any issues, which we haven't had a lot of issues. We've been doing a good job of cleaning pipes and cleaning storm sewers and making sure we don't have any issues. But of course, if we get a major rain in Carrington, we've seen our over our street flooding and things like that, which I guess all cities have that, but we may be a little more prone to it just how our system is set up. Then from there, I can jump into economic development. Of course, Gushis Electric Chris is a busy guy out there, and actually this is the 4th job credit that we approved for him, which means he's hired 4 new electricians, either journeyman or apprentice electricians. So that's this is the 4th job credit that we've approved for him, and based on the salary that those individuals get, they would each qualify for the $2,500 job credit. And then also we approved 2 preliminary applications for the Uniting for Ukraine grant, which would bring 3 more adult Ukrainians back into our city, and all 3 of those have jobs lined up over at Golden Acres. So from there, I'll move on and just jump into the airport. I'd like to thank Nikki Mertz for her many years of service. She's asked to step down from the board, and she's been the recording secretary out at the airport, I believe, for like 10 years now. And And so they're going to be looking, I think Jennifer Gass has taken over the secretarial part, but they're also looking for another board member at the airport. And police, like I said earlier, we're still missing one officer here in Carrington, and our officers, consisting of 3 officers and the chief, they make over 300 service calls every month. So there's a lot of activity going on in our city with law enforcement, and these are not all adverse calls. These are positive calls and different things of that nature. And I know this past week on Tuesday, they had Holiday for Heroes. So the first responders and law enforcement, they took a bunch of kids out to Pizza Ranch, and then from there they went on a shopping spree. So that's a fun time for everybody. Then we'll jump into Public Works, Greg. I guess we have continued follow-up on the lead service lines, and that we sent letters out to basically every household here this past month. And this is a long-term project, but it's a federal deal that they require us to notify our residents at least annually of the potential for lead. And if anybody has lead, which we've identified 60 some residents that do have lead service lines or lead, components into their water supply system into their house, they can take a sample and get it to Public Works, Jason Walsky, and we take it in and test it. But the city ourselves, every 3 months, we test some of these where we know there's lead, and we have not had any issues of any lead contamination, but we know that there's lead, in the system. Then the other thing with Public Works is, of course, we got all the snow removal stuff ready to go, and we got to try it out on December 2nd. That was our holiday of lights, and I think some of the candy got mixed in with the snow on Main Street, but what I could tell, the kids were pretty much had big bags full of candy, and the stuff that I threw out, I put in little sandwich bags so they wouldn't get. It's kind of hard to eat a Tootsie Roll when it gets wet, so I tried to circumvent that myself. But then, of course, I think I ran out at the end of the parade. It was a huge turnout, and it was actually pretty cold out that night. Oh, then what do we got here? I guess this Public Works, like I said, we've been, we watch for areas. So we had a couple of areas, one by the Chieftain and also by Rick's Wholesale Tires. So we completely cleaned out the whole block of the sanitary sewer system there. So anytime we realize we got some potential blockage, we've been trying to stay on top of that. So we don't have any major issues with sewer back up into, businesses or houses. And then, of course, I guess we're going to burn the landfill. We didn't get that done last year, so there's a huge pile of trees out there. And I guess now we do have snow on the ground, so Jason's going to light that up one of these days. We're just hoping that the wind. We need a southeast, or we don't need a northwest wind, so we don't need to have a bunch of ash and stuff coming over our city. But we'll be burning the landfill, and then as far as the armory, our boiler passed inspection. And we got to thank, Rusty Sherman. I'm sure he's looking down on the inspector on that one, because he was the main guy that took care of all this. And we're going to miss Rusty if we have any problems going forward. And the other thing on the armory, of course, we're still waiting for the material to replace the flooring on the steps going in and out of the armory. So we're still waiting on that. And I hear there's all kinds of kids and a lot of activity at the armory, and Jason is very proud that they're doing an excellent job of cleaning up after themselves, and they're taking the initiative to keep the armory, a good place to be. And over the years we have had some vandalism there, but now it seems like the kids themselves are patrolling it, and if they want to have it open, that's kind of how this is going to work, and the parents are helping out. So we greatly appreciate everybody's help on maintaining our armory. So I guess with that would conclude the city council report from Monday night.
Okay, sounds good. Thanks, Mayor, for the updates. And let's see, the next regular city council meeting is set for January 13th, right?
Yeah, 2025 already, Greg.
Yeah.
Time flies by.
Yeah, just a few more weeks left of 2024, and we'll be in the switch in the calendar again. So
the other thing is the holiday train. I didn't mention that. PP Kansas City holiday train's coming to Carrington on a Tuesday this year, the 17th of December at 1:30. So it's kind of a different time when, normally if it's on a Saturday, we have a big turnout, but sometimes on a Tuesday it might be less. But I'm taking the three older grandkids and Kayla. We're going to ride the train from Carrington to Harvey, so that should be a fun time.
Yeah, it's always cool seeing that train and they perform, music and the donations for Daily Bread. It's pretty cool. So,
Yeah,
yep.
definitely an asset to our community, and like you said, the contribution they give to Daily Bread is tremendous. So greatly appreciated.
Yep. All right. Well, thanks, Mayor, for joining us. We always appreciate it. And we want to take this time to wish you and your family a Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. And then we'll check in again next month, the Thursday after the City Hall meeting. So,
All right, thank you, Greg. Have a
yep.
good day.
Yep. You bet. We'll see you later.
Bye.
Discover the charm of Carrington, where community and character come together. Our vibrant community is full of welcoming smiles and unique experiences, from delicious dining and one-of-a-kind shops to lively events and beautiful parks. Join us in celebrating the best of Carrington, where every visit feels like coming home. Come visit the Carrington Chamber and CVB office to learn more about our wonderful town and its amazing businesses. Explore Carrington today and experience the warmth of our community. Hey sports fans, tune in to yourliveevent.com for all the action-packed Carrington Cardinal games, streaming live and free. Catch every thrilling moment with our live coverage. Listen to the play-by-play and watch the games unfold right on your screen. Plus, if you missed any of the excitement, don't worry. You can catch up on all previous games at yourliveevent.com. Check out the full schedule and never miss a moment of your favorite local Carrington games. Stay tuned and let's go Cardinals!
And right now, we're glad to be joined by Superintendent Janelle Helm for the Carrington Public Schools. Thanks, Janelle, for joining us here and taking time. We check in once a month on the Chatter program, brought to you by the Carrington Chamber and CVB. Talk about all the school happenings and everything, what's all happening there at public schools. So first up, got a big vote coming up next month, right? January 8th?
Yes. Yes. So we are going to bring it back to the community to propose to increase our mill levy from the 5 to 10 mills. I think that's going to be essential for us just to keep our facilities updated. You know, you look around and we did some information, put some information in the paper as well about the other schools that have mills that are up that high. A lot of the bigger districts are even over and above 10, but many districts our size are already at the 10 mill levy. And it doesn't mean that we're going to take the full 10. It means that, you know, at any time we can use up to 10. So that's a decision that the board could make. So I think just to maintain our facilities and keep what we currently have, it's really important for our district that this passes. I think we're very fortunate here to have such a great school. We talked a lot about this at our board meeting. Our school, we have grown. In the past, even since I've been here, we've grown. I just had a phone call from Mrs. Elseth. We just got another new 5th grader today. So our elementary seems to be where a lot of the growth is starting. We are making plans to our 1st grade is going to need to have 3 sections next year. We're thinking depending on internal moves, we will be advertising for another position shortly. So we definitely need this to pass and our community needs this. I think our school and community work together really well. I think of even tomorrow, we have all these schools coming in from, for girls wrestling, boys wrestling this weekend. I mean, it's a huge event for our community. It will bring people to shop. It'll bring people to eat, to stay. So us working together, our school being successful makes our community successful. And I'm really hoping that people get out to vote. I heard a lot of people tell me, oh, I didn't get to vote last time. I was out of town or I was gone. So I'm hoping that we have a lot of people show up to make sure that their voice is heard. So I'm looking forward to it. January 8th from 11 to 7, use door 7. We're going to hold the voting during the school day, which is something that we haven't done before. So it's going to be down at door 7 just for safety, security reasons. And then we can have people coming in on that side. And then we already have Kim Edlund is wonderful. When she has an election, she's very well prepared. She has her judges and clerks in place. It goes very orderly. And so it should be a great success. So I'll look forward to the results.
Okay, awesome. January 8th. And yeah, make sure to get in and vote for that.
Yes.
So And Christmas, New Year's coming up, and we got to talk, Christmas break for Carrington. So that starts pretty
Yes, so
quick,
we
right?
actually, yes, it's kind of a weird year. So there's a lot of schools that are taking the full 2 weeks. This is kind of the way Christmas falls, and New Year's. It just worked out better for us to take the full 2 weeks. When you look at our hours that we put in, for the year, we go over the required hours every year, and we do that because if we have a storm day, sometimes we don't have to make those days up. So it's always, there is a method to our madness when we're planning with the hours, but this is definitely going to be a nice break for our families and our students. And um, I don't think in all of my years I've ever had the full 2 weeks off. So that'll be an interesting, so we'll see how that goes.
Okay, good deal. And then you've been part of some FFA judging recently too, right?
Yes, I love FFA. That was something that was new to me when I moved here, and I have to say I've just embraced what we teach through that program and I really value what that program stands for. I have been a judge for employment skills for I think every year I've been here now. So, and yesterday there were four other judges, so it's not just me, but our student Sierra Freet did win that competition that I judged. So that was it was extra special. So,
Hmm.
I just see the good things that Mrs. Hanson and Mr. Becker are doing and what they're instilling in our children is just amazing. I mean, just the values and their ability to prepare and practice and what it stands for and, the respect for, you know, our country and our purpose. It's just a great experience. I think, the kids just get so much out of it. So
Okay, awesome. Well, sounds good. Anything else, Janelle, you want to talk about while we got you on the chatter program here?
just our big Christmas concert. We have the
Yep.
first one's today at 2, tonight at 7. We'll have the elementary concert. That's always one of the I mean, it's definitely probably the one where we get the most people into our building. I feel like it's just, and I've seen some of the rehearsals and Mrs. Larson, I mean, just when you think you can't make it better than it was last year, she does. I mean, she's just above and beyond. And we had our high school one as well, and Mrs. Hovey did such a wonderful job. So, we're just very fortunate that we have two amazing music teachers here, and yeah, very proud. Our whole staff, I mean, when you think of it as a whole and you reflect kind of on the year, as we're coming to an end of this year, even though our school year doesn't end until July, I'm just very fortunate to be here in Carrington with such an amazing group to work with. And I look at all the people that I've come to know and become friends with and have professional and personal relationships with. And it's just they've made a huge impact on my life and I love it. So it's been good.
Okay, awesome. Well, thanks so much for the update. We appreciate it.
Yes.
And
Also, we have our big wrestling tournament. Oh, I
oh
did
yeah,
say that already, I
yep,
think. Yep.
yep,
But you'll
yep,
be here too,
yep,
doing
yep.
some
We'll be
wrestling.
covering it. Mm-hmm.
Good.
The Al
Yes.
Larson Invitational tomorrow and Saturday. So looking forward to that and be my
Yes.
first wrestling broadcast. But we got the Lisbon wrestling guy coming up to help me out. So I'm gonna learn a lot of
That'll be
stuff this
good.
week.
Yeah, our wrestling community, I get nervous for this weekend because it's so busy. And Mr. Weber and I, this is the first time we've done this without Miss Michelson. She's out for a surgery. And so I told, some of the wrestling moms, Carmen and Deb and Holly, I'm like, you're stuck with us this weekend. Like Carla is not here. So, we'll do the best that we can. And I love wrestling. My son wrestled, my husband wrestled. But our wrestling community, they are one strong, united team that
Mhm.
just can really handle the volume of people that start coming in. And this is the first time we've done where we actually have teams coming tomorrow morning already.
Okay.
So weigh-ins, I think I started at around 11, or 9 or 11. I can't remember which group, but yeah, it's going to be a busy weekend here. So
Yeah,
again,
that's for sure. So
exciting.
great facility to host it in with the I think the two gyms and everything. So that makes it nice too and everything. So, but
Yes. It's
yep.
made us definitely on the map for a location to host those things. And I also think the wrestling communities around our state know that we have the manpower that can handle a tournament of this
Mhm.
size. And we get the volunteers. we have generations of wrestlers that come to help and support this event at our school. So we're always thankful for that.
Okay, awesome. Well, thanks so much, Janelle, and I want to wish you a Merry Christmas, Happy New Year to you and your family and everybody. And thanks for
Yes,
joining us.
you
And
too.
we'll check in again next month. So,
Yes, I'm super excited because our son, not my son, our son is flying home from Oregon. So we're going to get to
oh,
see him for an extended period of time over
nice.
Christmas. So, and Heather, our daughter too, but we see her more often. So yeah, it's going to be fun to have everybody together.
Oh yeah, great time of year.
Yep.
Get to see family. Yeah, so that's awesome. So,
Yep. Yes.
all
Oh,
righty.
great.
All right.
Thank
Well, thanks
you.
so much, and we'll talk next year, next month.
Yep. Sounds good.
Okay.
Okay. Thank
Yeah,
you, Greg.
you bet. Bye. Right now, the executive director for the Carrington Chamber joins us on the Chatter program, and Laurie Dietz, thanks for joining us here on a weekly basis on the Carrington Cardinals Community Chatter right here on yourliveevent.com, brought to you in part by the Carrington Chamber and CVB. And Laurie, well, we're basically mid-December, and that Christmas, it's coming up pretty quick, right?
It is. Boy, I haven't done any baking. I've wrapped 0 presents. But it'll come whether we're ready or not. And of
Yep.
course there's lots of fun things to do and take in up until the big day. And then of course then it's New Year's. So yeah, it goes fast. The older you
Mhm.
get, I think it goes faster yet, but
Yep.
yep, we got a list of things to talk about. And I want to mention too, if anyone's looking for a change in 2025, we have a list of many job opportunities that we can share with you here at the chamber office. So just let us know if you're interested in finding out who's hiring and all about the jobs. So this week going on, we have a sale at Central City Pharmacy, the Naughty or Nice sale, and it's 25% off holiday decor. And then they're also doing spend $75 on gifts, which are home decor or boutique items or gifts. And you received a $25 gift card, which will be good until January 31st. So you could buy something for yourself. But so lots of beautiful things there to think about. And of course, Runnings has a great sale this week and a lot of great gift ideas there, especially for the guys. I always think they have a lot, but yes, and gals too. I've seen a lot of really nice clothing, and of course they have jewelry and they have kitchen appliances, and so it's a great stop over there to finish your list. And then for those hard to buy for people that live here right around the area, we do have Carrington Cash available. It's the red funny money that is used like a gift certificate. It's good at our chamber members. And, you just stop by and we have 5s and 20s and we'll get the amount that you need. And a list where you can spend it too. Coming up, the Canadian Pacific Kansas City Holiday Train is coming through town on Tuesday, December 17th at 1:30 p.m. They have great entertainment on board. The big boxcar opens up and they entertain us, and they also give a wonderful check to our Carrington Daily Bread because they're focusing on hunger throughout the Midwest. And then people are encouraged to bring donations also for Carrington Daily Bread for our food pantry. And so I know your wife is really into the food pantry and keeping that going. And then, of course, the holiday train is a real nice boost for them this time of year. So that is great, right, Greg?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it's always active, always something going on over there. So yeah, it's good.
Yes. Yep. There is a big need for the food pantry in our community. Also coming up, let's see here, we got Santa Day coming up on Saturday, December 14th over at the Carrington Youth Center. And that will be from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. The movie for Santa Day is The Grinch, and there'll be concessions, and that all starts at 1 o'clock. So between 11 and 1, you can stop by and greet Santa and bring your camera for some photos. And then we want to shout out thank you to Doug and Cody Stanglin for sponsoring the movie and concessions at Santa Day. So that's coming up quick. Also, we've had a few people question or ask questions about our Christmas cruise. And that is where we call on Carrington residents to light up the town with Christmas lights. You decorate your house, your yard, your mailbox, whatever, but get it all festive and bright. And then you can call or email your address to us so we can add it to our Christmas cruise list. And then we invite everyone to tour the town and admire the beautiful displays. And of course, then you can vote for your favorites and prizes will be awarded. So we hope people will jump on the bandwagon and get us, maybe it's not your house. Maybe you're not a decorator like me. My husband and I do not put up lights, but maybe somebody in your neighborhood has a really great display, and you can nominate them or get their name and address in for us to add to the Christmas cruise. So lots of stuff. And then, of course, we want to remind people on Facebook, we do have our Facebook promotion going on in the evening. We have an elf that's been traveling around to some of our Carrington chamber businesses. And the ones that we're highlighting are ones that are involved with the Christmas Cash program. So tune in the evenings to our Facebook page. It's carringtonchamberandedc.com or Carrington Chamber and EDC on Facebook. And you'll see where the elf has landed and where is he at. Try and make a guess and you'll be entered for Carrington Cash drawing. So yeah, that sounds like that must be everything for this week. And give us a call, 652-2524, or shoot an email to chambergal@bechtel.com, or you can always stop by the office here at 871 Main Street.
Okay, good deal. Well, thanks so much, Laurie. We appreciate it. And we'll check in again next week, Thursday. And yeah, we'll be another week closer. And I think I'm kind of there with you this year. I'm wrapped of maybe one or two gifts, but so I'm one or two ahead of you.
Yeah, I'm thinking gift bags. I got to go down in my closet for the gift wraps and the bags and all that and get some of that stuff sorted out, and then I can get going and get things done. But yeah, I don't know. And it's, it's a busy time. We're doing the holiday programs, we're doing the fun events, and some shopping and, getting all the things ready. And then it's like, yeah, and all of a sudden it's here.
I still got to do a little shopping too. So yeah, I'm kind of behind this year.
Well, yep. Now it's the time. The good sales are on now.
Yep.
So around town here anyway. So
Yep. All righty. Well, sounds good. Thanks so much, Laurie. And have a great weekend and rest of your week. We'll check in next week, Thursday.
sounds great. Thanks, Greg.
Yep, you bet. We'll see you.